Hey Bio Team. So we've had a couple of difficulties in our data calculations, and so in this video we're going to brush up on three common types of calculations that you're going to have to do as part of the course. Specifically, we're going to look at how to calculate absolute difference, relative difference, and rate of change. So this would be an example of a question that's asking for absolute difference. In reference to this chart on pea seeds oxygen consumption, it asks, by minute 20, how much more oxygen did the germinating pea seeds at 26 degrees Celsius consume than the germinating pea seeds at 10 degrees Celsius? And so what this question is really asking for is a comparison of two data points. So we'll find those data points first. We'll find the germinating pea seeds at 26 degrees. We'll find the pea seeds at 10 degrees Celsius. And then we will find at minute 20 the amount of oxygen that each of them had consumed. And so if we come across to our y-axis, we'll see that the germinating pea seeds at 26 degrees Celsius had consumed approximately 1 milliliter of oxygen. And we'll see that the seeds at 10 degrees Celsius had consumed around 0.4 milliliters of oxygen. And so this question is asking how much more did the 26 degrees Celsius consume than the 10 degrees Celsius? That would just be 0.6 milliliters. Our next example that's asking for relative difference looks at first very similar to the last problem. It asks, by minute 15, how many times more milliliters of oxygen did the germinating pea seeds at 26 degrees Celsius consume than the germinating pea seeds at 10 degrees Celsius? But the main difference here is that instead of asking just how much more oxygen did one group consume than the other, it's asking how many times more oxygen. And so it's asking for the relative difference. And so rather than subtracting one value from another, we're going to do a ratio of one value compared to another. So we'll find our two values first, the germinating pea seeds at 26 and at 10 degrees Celsius. And this problem is asking at 15 minutes for their relative oxygen consumptions. And so we'll find those 2 points right here. And in this case, we'll see that the germinating pea seeds at 26 degrees Celsius had consumed about 0.75 milliliters of oxygen. And the germinating pea seeds at 10 degrees Celsius had consumed about 0.3 milliliters. And so how many times more oxygen had the 26 degrees seeds consumed than the 10 degrees group? We'll see approximately 2.5 times more. That is, 0.75 is 2.5 times greater than 0.3 milliliters. And our last type of problem is a rate of change example. It's asking what was the rate of oxygen consumption for the germinating pea seeds at 10 degrees Celsius in the first 15 minutes of the experiment. Well, what the question is really asking is, as our independent variable changes, how much does our dependent variable change as well? And in a graph that shows up as the slope formula. So we'll find our group of pea seeds at 10 degrees Celsius, and we'll see how much they changed over the course of the 15 minutes of the experiment. That is, from 0 minutes, how much oxygen had they consumed, to 15 minutes, how much oxygen had they consumed. And we can see that their oxygen consumption went from exactly 0 milliliters to 0.3 milliliters, a difference of 0.3 milliliters. And we can see that the time in which this occurred was from 0 minutes to 15 minutes, exactly 15 minutes. And so the rate of change then was 0.02 milliliters per minute. And that's it. At this point, you guys have some practice problems. We'll see you next class.